So what's up, YouTube? Heading down to U of A area. Have $260, $250 in cash. Actually, heading to get a disc-only game. Have I lost control of my life? Certainly, but it is definitely a quality title, and definitely kind of one of those bucket list games. So I'm going to head across town, not really across town, kind of right by where I work, and pick this game up. And pretty high risk. I don't usually like to spend more than like $80 on a single game, in case something goes wrong, but I don't know. High risk. We had a good weekend at the garage sales, you guys saw. Didn't get a ton of games, but we got some quality titles, so I'm down to take a little bit of a risk right now on potentially a big reward. So let's head down and check it out. So we got our game, probably the craziest Sega Saturn collection I've ever seen in person. The system and the game simply do not exist in Tucson. They don't. People talk a lot about games being like in certain regions, like my town collected Sega, my town did Nintendo. Tucson was very Nintendo. If you guys watch our videos, you see us get Nintendo lots at garage sales. At least once a month, and very rarely do we find big Sega collections. Obviously, we just found that Dreamcast lot, so kind of disproving my point. But as far as Saturn, it doesn't exist in this city, and it never has. Even when it was in its heyday back in the 90s, we didn't like sell Saturn. Bookmans didn't even have it. The games were never on the shelves, even at resellers. So really cool to see it in person. Spoiler alert: I did not get any of the games you saw in his binder. I already took the game out. You guys will see what it is in a minute in the pickup recap. But you saw me spend $250, so most of you are probably gonna be able to guess what game I got at that price tag. But he definitely had a ton of extremely valuable games and a ton of really quality titles. I saw Snatcher in the mix, but unfortunately it was the Japanese version, not the American Sega CD version, which would have been heart stopping. But Fanta will be proud of me. I'm off to another Craigslist deal. Same morning, backwards compatible PS3 with a ton of games. And a couple of the games actually caught my eye because they're PlayStation 1 games, and a couple of them have some value. So going to pick that up right now for $40. It doesn't have the cords or controllers, but it's $40, and it's like right in my neighborhood. So can't go wrong with this deal, especially since the games are already worth over $40. The system, which is backwards compatible, is just going to be like a bonus. So heading to get that right now. What is going on, YouTube? White hair, real quick, real lazy, real half-assed pickup video on what was the craziest Monday, arguably in history, on Craigslist. Monday morning, that is. All of this stuff from about 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on a Monday morning. I'm going to start off with the second find. I got this on the way back from the first find, and I noticed it was right in my town, right down the street, and with a $40 asking price, I couldn't afford not to get it, specifically with the games. We'll start off with the big thing, though. The big thing per Fanta is the Fat PS3. This is the backwards compatible PS3, and this plays PS1, PS2, and PS3 games. Very sought after and pretty damn valuable, worth way over the $40 I paid. I see these going on eBay for way north of $100 still, just because of their, I guess, playability, we'll call it, and practicality. And I just love the way the system looks. I love that piano black. Obviously, it's been beat to a pulp a bit, but it is working. Sadly, it did not come with cables, but cables are real replaceable. I was just worried the system itself wouldn't work. $40, we're already off to a great start on this lot, but it did come with some awesome games. We'll jump into those right now. This junk, whatever this stupid thing is. Medal of Honor, series I love. You guys just heard the Frontline soundtrack, which is probably my favorite video game soundtrack ever, to be honest. I don't know why. The game was decent, but that soundtrack will live with me forever. Perfect World War II music. Kind of the gem of the lot. Really pleasant surprise to see Medieval 2. Sadly, it's not complete. It is disc only in a Blockbuster case, which is becoming funnier and funnier, but the disc is in nice condition. Very creepy, very macabre game to play, especially during this Halloween time. I have it complete and pristine, so I'll probably end up selling this, to be honest, even though the disc is in nice condition. Over the Hedge, one of DreamWorks' many cash cows to try to compete with Pixar. Never saw it, have no interest in seeing it. This game is the GOAT. I don't know if it's even in here. Their Gun. Another Blockbuster case, and another, they put the label on the wrong side. Westerns really interest me right now because HBO just released the GOAT TV show called Westworld. If you have not seen that, stop this video right now, X out of this tab, and go to HBO Go and watch the first 2 episodes. Simply the best show I've seen in a long time. It reminds me a lot of Lost, and then it's HBO, it's Game of Thrones people. WWE vs. Raw 2006. There is a market for these WWE games. I am not it, though. Game I joked I paid $250 for. You don't know jack. Kind of the influx of stupid game shows in the late 90s. There's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, this show, Weakest Link, a bunch of dumb shows in like the early 2000s that were real popular. Happily, that trend has kind of died in favor of dumb dancing and cooking shows. Tekken 3 for the original PlayStation. It looks like it has its ripped out artwork up there. Sadly, once again in these tacky Blockbuster cases. Conditions okay. And Tekken's an awesome game. I've never played this one though, I don't think. But I do recognize the cover art. True Crime, Streets of New York. Grand Theft Auto competitor when it was the cool thing to do in the early 2000s. Everything was trying to compete with Vice City and San Andreas and stuff. I never played the series, to be honest with you. Might have been fun, or it might have just been a cheap open world copy paste. The OG Gran Turismo, happily in its case. This is one that'll probably go into the collection, although it is missing something here, or is it? That might be where the instruction booklet goes. It might just be a one disc game. I don't see anything that says disc 2, so this might just be for the instruction booklets up here. But good to see it in its original case and everything. Probably keep this in the collection. This is actually a really cool find. I didn't even notice this when I first bought it. Midway Arcade Greatest Hits. Again with the tacky labels and stuff. Clearly they bought this all at a liquidation at Blockbuster or something. But super cool to have all these games. These compilation things are really cool. If you feel like playing an old school arcade game, this and Midway. This is Midway rather. Whatever one had Dig Dug. I have that one. That one's fun. Dig Dug in pole position. March Madness 98. Jesus Christ, with how old this game is. Fun for us U of A fans because they were probably really good in this game. I believe they won in 97, so yeah, this game they might have been the GOAT. Tomb Raider 2. Get geared up. Once again, everything's backwards. Get geared up for the new edgy and dark reboot starring Ava from Ex Machina, who I actually really like. But I don't know if I'm excited about the dark and gritty Tomb Raider. I kind of enjoyed the tacky Angelina Jolie series. Kart World Series. Not a day one buy. Too bad because it is complete and looks like in decent condition. At least it's a case, if nothing else. This, I'm actually embarrassed to say I'm pretty excited to play. Fight Night Champion. The original Fight Night was a really fun, cool game. I think the guy said it's in the system. It's a really fun, cool game. If these ones are still like it, you use like the joysticks to swing your fists, and it worked for me. It really did. I don't even like boxing, but it was fun. Interactive CD sample pack, probably from one of the magazines or something back in the day. NHL Face-Off 98. Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat. Vexing title here. It looks like it's based on the Mike Myers movie, which was one of the worst films of all time. That and the Bill Murray Garfield were just dark days of my childhood at the cinema. And last and certainly least, Wheel of Fortune. Vanna White on the cover there. And why you'd ever play this, I just don't know. But another game show, cheesy game. So the lot was decent. Some shitty games for sure, but a couple decent $10 to $15 games. And then Medieval 2 certainly has some value with the disc in that good a condition. But let's get into it. You guys have been waiting a week to see what I got. This game has been up on Craigslist for probably about a month. And I just finally was like, whatever, I'm going to offer $250. He was asking $500, which isn't insane. I could maybe get that on eBay, but I'm a top rated plus and I have a reputation and stuff. Like, you're not going to ever get, you should never get in person on Craigslist what a top rated plus eBay seller gets. That's just my opinion. They've earned their reputation and they have to take risk and they have to get extorted and they have to deal with a bunch of bullshit. So anyway, for $250, first deal probably of a lot more with this guy. He has a really nice Dreamcast collection as well. You guys saw his Saturn collection, but I'm going to be meeting up with him to buy some Dreamcast games in the next week. But for $250, without further delay, Panzer Dragoon Saga. I consider this one of the holy grails of video game hunting. Super sought after, super revered, and insanely valuable. There was not a lot of copies in North America, and you guys can see the condition is absolutely unblemished, 100% perfect. That is disc 2. Disc 3, also just out of the box new. This game in this condition is probably pretty damn rare because this game doesn't exist. There's not that many copies of it on planet Earth. So to find it in mint condition like this, disc 4, once again, without flaw. And then we'll get into the problem, probably the only one he ever played. I wouldn't even call it a problem, but it's not quite perfect. Although it's hard to tell on video. Yeah, you can see there's a tiny little like scuff there. So virtually perfect, but not quite. Regardless, $250, exciting find, and I get to cross that off my bucket list. This is one of those games, kind of like Earthbound, Conker's Bad Fur Day to some extent, that when you start game hunting, you look for. You're like, that's it. That's one of the big titles. We have to add that to the collection. We have to find that. So I was willing to fork up $250. I will give it the old college try to find a case for this really quickly, but I'm not going to keep them disc only for long. I will end up selling it quickly if I can't find some sort of case. The case is going for hundreds of dollars on eBay, and that was a sold listing. There's not even one up there right now. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the Craigslist hunting, leave a thumbs up. I will be doing episode 1 of my video game collection. It's actually, I switched it to $5. It's going to be a $5 starting point, and I'm going to just build a massive collection with just $5 spent. You guys will get to follow along as I sell things and as I trade, and of course as we go out garage selling. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy the Craigslist content, and we'll be back with another video within the calendar week. Later, guys.